So this is another video here for chapter 11.2. The first day we'll be doing 2 days on this, and then we'll be wrapping up our year. Multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Today we're going to begin the process of multiplying rational expressions. As long as you view the process correctly, it should be pretty easy to understand. If you type this problem into your calculator, 2/5 times 7/3, of course we know that we are supposed to use parentheses when we do 2/5 times 7/3. And when we turn that into a fraction, you notice that your answer is 14 or 15, and that is because, as we should know by now, whenever you multiply fractions, you simply take the top times top and the bottom times the bottom to get the bottom. Now, of course, if it can be reduced, you reduce it, but other than that, that is pretty much the idea. And again, what you should notice about the answer is that you simply took 2 times 7 and put it on top, took 5 times 3 and put it on the bottom. If you look at this problem and you type it into your calculator, again, 3/5 times 2/5 times 7/11, you get the answer of 42 over 11, which I guess isn't the thing. The bottom line on this is that you pretty much take 3 times 2 times 7, you put it over 5 times 11, and again, that's 42 over 11 that we should get. So 3 times 2 times 7 gives me the answer of 42. Is that right? I'll type something wrong. 3/5 times 2/5 times 7/11. I guess I did. Anyway, when I put that over 5 times 11, something went wrong. I end up with 275. And I don't know how the heck that ended up what it was, but let's see. That's as far as it goes. So 3/5 times 2/5 times 7/11. Something weird. Anyway, I messed up, of course, because I didn't put the 2/5 there. Bottom line is, based on the pattern, sorry about that, it's a great time for me to mess up, but it's going to be online forever. What happens if you do have a calculator, if you don't have a calculator, is that you simply take everything on the top and you put it together, and then you divide it by everything that's on the bottom. It's going to come together in today's material. One of the things you're going to be asked to do on today's material is take a fraction like this, which is multiplied, and push it together. And so the first thing we're going to do is push this information together, because we understand that the top goes to the top and the bottom goes to the bottom. And so what we will do is take and make sure the number goes in front. So this will be a 3 up front with an x plus 2 and an x minus 4 on top, just getting pushed together. On the bottom, if the number goes first, then the first thing you have to put down there is a 5, an x plus 7, and an x plus 2. And when we do that, we do the same thing we learned yesterday, which is, or last couple days, which is to notice that x plus 2's cancel out. 3 over 5 is reduced as far as it can go, and your answer is 3 times x minus 4 over 5 times x plus 7. And that is all. So again, with the multiplication, all you got to do is make sure you push everything up top together into one fraction, or one numerator, push everything on the bottom down to one denominator, and do the same skill you learned last couple days in class. Even looking at something like this, when you go to push these together, you have to remember that 2 and 7 are both on the top, and they will push together to make 14. You have an x plus 1 there. You also have a x plus 3. On the bottom, you've got a 3 and a 4 down there, which makes 12. You have an x plus 3. You also have an x minus 2. And this time when you go to do it, you notice that 14 and 12 can both be reduced. 14 over 12, I guess you can divide them both by 2, so you end up with 7 on top, 6 on the bottom. You have to do that, otherwise you mess up. Remember, we treat numbers like that no matter what we reduce them. And then notice that x plus 3's cancel out, which gives us x plus 1 and x minus 2. So again, looking at all that, that's pretty much the things that you're going to be asked to do today. It's not really a quick or long assignment. Remember, we're kind of closing out on this, so I'm not asking you to do a lot since you're going to probably forget it anyway. Today's work it's just going to ask you to do those two things. So the first thing it's going to ask you to do is to push the information together and stop. So in other words, it'll give you a question like this, and it'll ask you to push it together, which means this will be your answer. Don't go all the way through to this part. Push it together just simply means push it together into one fraction and stop. On this question, you would push it all together into one fraction and that would stop. Again, this is the push part of what we're doing. So that if it says push it together, that's where you're going to stop. Alright. The second thing it's going to ask you to do is to simplify. If I can get back to that page, to simplify the actual fraction, and so that's where you're actually going to go all the way through down to this part. Alright. So based off of that, like I said, go ahead and go to your Math Excel. It's about, I think it might be 8 questions tops for you to do, and do what you need to from there. Be sure again to read all directions. The questions are meant to build on the necessary skills. After today, you should at least understand how to push the fractions together and simplify. I have not made you factor, but that's not really necessary for you to get it because you know how to factor. Outside of that, tomorrow we'll be doing division, and other than that, like I said, you've got a lot of work to do. You've got 3 review assignments, and you've also got the old work that you might not have gotten to, so make sure you're getting all that done. Again, those of you with low grades, make sure you focus on the 5-point chart, because that is going to make a big difference in your grade, and make sure you show me that paper. Other than that, like I said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, and good luck.